This thing forever cutting off. But anyway, I was saying, I told him I want my marriage, my marriage, and it was certain stuff that I wanted to work for me out of life, like most out of life, but it didn't. I was like making it clear that it don't necessarily gotta be you, baby. And I mean, and I did hint around about that. I was keeping it real with him from the depths of my soul, from parts of my soul, like, and I'm talking about this was years in advance. This was like 2012, 2013. He was like, "Oh, I'm what you want out of life the most." I'm like, "What? Where do you get that from me telling you that?" You know what I'm saying? It's certain stuff that I want. I was like, I want my marriage, but and I was like, I'm saying, I was hinting around like, it don't necessarily got to be you. And I didn't know how, I wanted to say true, but I'm going to say how accurate, because I don't know if I could say true yet. I'm not saying I won't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't lying or anything, but I just don't know how accurate or whatever. But at this point, yeah, I don't want him. I mean, I'm saying that out loud, like I'm trying to convince somebody or whatever. Yeah, I don't want him or nothing like that. I definitely love and care for him. I just really don't even want to make nothing work with him like that. Like, I want to, if I already tried that and I tried that for an extensive period of time, um, it could say that I was doing it in the wrong timing or in my own. I wasn't doing it in my own strength, but maybe it was the wrong timing. And like I told him, it was just disorderly. And you would think, hey, well, y'all started out disorderly. Why don't you try it this time? And it's going to be orderly. I don't, if God was telling me that, if God telling me that, then I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to take heed. But that don't necessarily, I hope that I would be obedient, because that's where I'm at this point. But I mean, and it would be in my best interest to be obedient, if that's what, you know what I'm saying, if God is advising you. But of course, I don't feel like God is advising me regarding that. God is not speaking about um him to me at this point in time. But yeah, I just don't, that's not my desires right now. That's not my heart's desire. Um like it once was. So that's that or whatever. And but yeah, what did he tell me? I remember the one time when he was like, I can't wait till we get married so I can get some sleep. I guess so. That's in a sense like he can't rest or whatever until, you know what I'm saying, we get married. And it sounded so sweet or whatever. And I was like, yes. I was on it or whatever. But like I said, I just didn't know how to receive, or that wasn't transmitted to me like how it is now. That I'm living something totally that looks totally different than what I've desired. And the funniest thing is I was feeling like we was getting to what I was desiring. And I know it wasn't me alone. I'm not trying to be selfish, but it was like we was getting to what I desired and what I wanted to see happen, but then it was like always something that tried to make it come crashing down. So I was like, oh, and okay, I'm not doing this with you forever. I'm definitely not. So that's that on that or whatever. But what else? Uh, yeah, I'm guessing he meant, natural sleep, sleep good at night. You know what I'm saying? Sleep, have some peace. I don't know. At this point, I'm just not really trying to find out, because I don't want it to be that sleep that you can't come back from until it's time. I mean, for him, if that's what he want, okay. And like I always be saying, baby, if these people out here want to commit um murder suicide, baby, commit suicide first. Then you can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying. So, and don't do that over here by me or mine. So that's what I'm on or whatever. But because I just don't know where if he been in a different environment, he's told me that he can adapt, and so that means he can change like a chameleon. I don't want you to have picked up murder tendencies and stuff like that, and you want to finish it off over here. Absolutely not, baby. Do that in that vicinity that you got over there, because I don't want it. I'm good on it. Like, I'm real good on it. I don't want that in my life. So I don't want y'all to pick up my scent to be bothering me, no nothing. Like, even the residue that try to stick around, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. So I was thinking about that. Was also thinking about was thinking about how well, I guess at this point I just realized I guess people see my so-called dad or whatever thought that people was playing games. Like I was being real with him. I mean, for the most part, as honest as I could be. I feel like as honest as a child. You know what I'm saying? A child to a parent who didn't do what they were supposed to do, was already started out dishonest. I think these parents be thinking, oh, we started out dishonest, but I expect my kids to be fully honest. I was as honest as I possibly could be to my so-called dad, and he thought that, well, he said somebody was playing games, but I guess he thought it was more so me a lot of times because of what he done experienced with other females and stuff. And I guess he must have realized it wasn't me. For one, it was just his stuff catching up with him, I guess. You know, when he he did it to females, but thought it was me to the point where he just, he didn't treat me like I wanted to be treated. Like I don't necessarily know exactly what it's like to be for a daughter to be treated by her dad. I've seen on TV, and you know what I'm saying, but I'm not stupid either. I know how I don't want to be treated, and so it was certain stuff that just wasn't sitting well with me. And yeah, my so-called stepdad didn't do me like, you know what I'm saying? He did certain stuff, but it's all, I'm not saying it's expected, but it's more so expected to me from your stepdad than it is your real dad. But my stepdad did, you know what I'm saying, covered and protected and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, nah, I don't like what he got going on. It wasn't looking nowhere near right to me. So I was like, nah, I'm goody. And he said his thing where he was like, I want favor with my daughters. And he was talking to me, which I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm supposed to be a daughter, but he was talking about, it's almost like that third person type stuff. And I'm like, so I guess he could have said, I want God to give me favor with my daughters, or I want favor, even I want favor with you. I want God to give me favor with you. So when he said daughters, I don't know, he could have been just talking about his other two or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that he had within his marriage. And I'm just like, well, I'm not feeling it. So, and furthermore, at this point in time, I didn't want to be up under my so-called dad. I didn't have a problem with having a relationship, but I didn't want to be up under him. I had gotten out from up under my mom, and you know what I'm saying, gotten encouraged to get out from up under her. But yeah, I got out from under her, and I didn't want to just go and get up under him. I wanted to get up under my man. You know what I'm saying? I want to have my own family because my so-called dad done had a couple of quote unquote families, this, that, and the third, and that stuff didn't really include me like that. Like I've been around, but that stuff wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't in no hurry to get back up under him, or I mean, I said back up under, but I don't feel like I ever was. I just don't have no desire towards him like that. I do know him, love him, care for him, and stuff like that. And again, I'm thankful. I'm playing this game in the year that I was born. It's popping up, and I'm like stuck on this level. But yeah, I'm thankful. The Bible say, be thankful regardless, because without that sperm cell, baby, you wouldn't be here. And so I'm grateful in that sense, and I'm still just healing and stuff from and all types of stuff. God told me to forgive. I forgave. When other stuff kept on coming up, I still try to forgive. But like I said, I didn't want to be up under him. I wanted my husband. Okay, so that's the other thing. Brings me to another point where he was saying something like, "Oh, you trying to get my daughter hitched and stuff." I didn't hear him. Let me stop. I just imagine him saying it like that, but that's what his she claims she lied about some stuff, so I don't know what, but some stuff just seems and sounds like that's what he said. But what you trying to get my daughter hitched or whatever, something like that, because I was cooking, I was doing some stuff or whatever for dude. And my thing is, why would you not want me to experience that? Because you want me? It's either because you want me to be up under you, can't find nobody, can't, honey. At this point now, I'm not gonna be up under my sons, but as long as I live, I'm gonna be where they, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be supportive of them and what they got going on in their life. I'm not, and helpful to them. And at a point, if I got to it might not feel the greatest to serve your kids because of, some people have pride issues. Baby, who? I'm going I'm gonna feed mine. I mean, I'm gonna be, I'm talking about feed mine. Like I ain't already been doing that, and like I ain't supposed to be doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna be right there with them. So what? I don't. I'm not being funny when I say this. Like I don't have no dad like that. Like I don't. I have somebody that got me, got with my so-called mom and got me in this world, but I don't, and I don't like that it's like that, but he chose his own mom. He chose other females and stuff like that over me, and that's just period. He chose his own pleasures and stuff like that, and although I understand that and I can relate because it sure enough manifested in my life, but I just don't. I reject that. Like I don't want that. And I love, forgive, all that. I don't hate neither one of my so-called parents. I just, you know, of course, my preference would be to be near to my mom, the one who raised me, and you know what I'm saying. But even with that, I'm cautious because that's not necessarily what God had me doing either. Like He barely speak to me regarding her. Um, so you know. I'm not going there, and as much as I know who these people are, I know them by name, full name, know your birthday, this, that, and the third. And again, this is who raised me and all that. I can't do that. I'm leaning even my daughter, who's not physically present in my house. I'd rather spend out the, you know what I'm saying, if I had the choice, if God give me the option, I want to spend out my life with them and not worry about these so-called parents, and just be thankful for what they did do in my life. But but yeah, if he did say something like that, it's like, why would you not want me? Because in the same, well, not the same breath, but he spoke about my other so-called sibling. Like, yeah, she did it right, and this, that, and I'm like, what? And then he would just say little comments like, oh, she went down there to get her husband. But let me say something about my husband or my man or this, that, and the third. No, that ain't your man. That ain't what. And it was just it wasn't even, it was what he said. It was what he said, and it was how he said it. It was like, and he even said before, you need to let your daddy come and take care of you. And I said, okay, well, I'm coming. I'm on the way. And then, somehow type of way, I could tell he wasn't serious or wasn't ready for it or whatever, or either, it could have been the female that he was with or whatever, just wasn't. But I don't, I don't want, I don't want it to be where I'm coming to take care of you at all, because that's not what I want. I'm taking care of me and my kids, because I didn't feel taken that well taken care of by him, so to speak. But yeah, what was I finna say? Um, so yeah, he offered that and then just ended up not going. And because I'm like, he wants me to, it's a certain type of way. He think I'm so, that's what he said before too. A daughter's heart is supposed to be for her dad. It's like, what? Your heart's supposed to be submitted to God, and then your heart needs to be for your children before you worry about it. And it was just, I don't know, definitely disorderly and just some type of craziness. And I was just like, I'm not gonna get in that. But yeah, and it's been what, gosh, since I even seen him. Of course, a representative of him last year, but since I even seen him, it was it was 2020. Look, laid eyes on him. And then, of course, the end of 2020, my so-called mom trying to let him talk to my kids and stuff like that. That right there pissed me off. If you have my kids and you spend time with them, one thing. But for you to, because you have my kids with you, you call and you reach out to him. And yeah, they do have his same last name too, because I have his last name. You reached out to him and you feel like your loyalty is supposed to be to him. Over God first. I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. So I'm not saying I couldn't be wrong. But I don't feel like that's what you're supposed to do with my kids, period. And that was a chance for me to see what would happen. Now, mind you, my kids was, they was not taken well care of. They wasn't, nobody told them to do their homework, focus on their stuff. They wasn't focusing on them getting good grades. They was trying to catch up on lost time. That's understandable, but they was not like taking care of my kids. And these are people that raised me, and I know they don't do a terrible job, so I don't, they was real slack with my kids. So had a problem with that or whatever. And then they was way slack with me. God had mercy on me. God kept me. And so that's why I have to acknowledge, and that's why I got to give credit to. I cannot even give credit to them. But it was just like, what? Wait, what? And so yeah, it's a lot. But just the fact that I had that decent relationship with the last female that I knew him to be with or whatever, had that connection with her, I was loving it, I was appreciating it. And, I thought she was appreciating me, but maybe she was taking it for granted, and I didn't know. I just don't feel like she was, but my feelings can lie, and they, can make me feel like, but let your feelings be indicators and not dictators. But yeah, God may know otherwise what conversations was had or said. But like, she was really helping me with a lot of, just, it was insightful. It seemed like she was trying to get her life together and whatever. But it came to an abrupt type of end. Oh, and when I last seen her, she was like, "Can just give me a hug?" And this, I was like, "Absolutely not, baby. I'm not shaking everybody's hand, and I'm not giving a hug. I'm not coming into agreement with everything and everybody. Absolutely not. The devil is a lie. The devil be bound." Um, And so I just left it at that or whatever. But before then, honey, you couldn't keep me away from her. You couldn't stop me from hugging her and doing certain stuff or whatever and connecting with her, talking to her. And of course, it was just like she's a manipulator. She was a liar, this, that, and third. But yeah, it's not that couldn't sense it. I picked up on some stuff about her, but it just didn't, it paled in comparison to my so-called dad is supposed to have a more genuine relationship with me than I have with the one he laying up with. So that's just how that cookie crumbles or whatever. But yeah, hate that I had to do this in two-part video, but because my camera cut off, it is what it is. And yeah, that's how it went down. So with that said, though, just, that's a mouthful. With all that said, I just say thank you, Lord. I thank God for the strength to get up there and cut that grass earlier. My back was hurt. I feel like my back was about to go out. My sons helped me. They're getting older, so I'm definitely utilizing them. I'm not trying to put them out there like that, but it's not terrible that they learn how to cut the grass and stuff like that. But because I do want them to teach them, if you have a home and stuff like that, you have to maintain it and this, that, and the third. But hopefully they had them some good old lawnmowers, some equipment and stuff like that. But we got out there and did that, and then honey, I came in, I took me a little shower, rinse off and stuff like that because I had the grass all over me and I was knocked out. Like, I was out. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful even still, even though my daughter's not in here, I'm just grateful. The sun rose and it set again. I seen it on another day. I've made some tacos. My son, did he make something else? I don't know. I've been eating my fruit. I'm gonna continue to eat my honeydew melon that's in there, and yeah, we're gonna just keep on tripping it out. And it's crazy. It's so crazy that I was so feeling this dude and so in love with him or whatever that I don't even have no desire for him no more. And so it makes it like what my so-called dad was saying. Oh, that ain't your husband, or that's your husband, but not right now. Like, I didn't ask you for permission. I go to God. I'm bypassing you and I'm going to God. I don't, and that might sound disorderly, but that's just what you left me to do or whatever. But yeah, I'm bypassing you. I'm going to God. But at this point, when dude showed me his true colors, when God shows me what's going on with him and, letting me know, is this what you really want? and I get the opportunity and the chance to still to bail or whatever you want to call it, then okay, and then I'm out. You know, if God give me a way of escape, I'm out. Um, but yeah, it was the fact that my so-called dad was just like, it was how he was saying it, because he rather me desired to be up under him and all. And I'm like, it's not a competition. I know I'm capable of loving everybody, and it's gonna be healthy. But they be in some stinking ass foul competition type thing, and I just be like, really? That is filthy. It's nasty to me. It's disgusting, and I just didn't like it. Even with his so-called mom deceased and everything, it's like, honey, I'm not in competition with you regarding your son. My daughter so-called, I'm not in competition. She always tried to. His mama for sure always tried to make it. And it's like, girl. Sometimes did I feel like you need to be choosing me regarding your, you know what I'm saying, over your mom, this, that, and third. But those are my feelings. I didn't let my feelings dictate. I got pissed at him just when he was making some bad decisions or whatever. When I seen his so-called mom influencing him on some bad decision making, like. But other than that, now I'm not in his life to do that and worrying about that. Even with my daughter, you know, maybe she giving him insight or whatever, but. I don't want her energy drained because of that. I bind and rebuke it right now. Mm-mm. But but yeah, but his mom, his sisters, and stuff like that, I just be like, and so I just don't have no room for that in my life no more. One guy who was trying to talk to me, he was like, well, you ain't got to worry about that because my mama dead already. Like, he literally was trying to go hard, at least by the sound of it, not necessarily even the action of it, but he's like, you ain't got to worry about that because my mama dead. I'm like, what? You a sick dude when you wanna. You good? I'm good. Where I'm saying you good over there and I'm good over here. But it's like I really don't want them type of problems in my life. Like, I don't want your mama, your sister, your cousins, your second cousin twice removed, your aunt, and then whoever you trying to cheat with. See, I could have dealt with the cheating part. I don't like it, but I could have dealt with that if that's all it was. But it was more than just cheating. It was other people. It was your so-called aunt. It's the people across the street. It's this. It's that. It's them. And he'll utilize everybody as like a flying monkey. But when everybody realized that they was played and all that, he's still gonna have to be in hot water and deal with that. So that's on him, and I don't want no problems with that. I don't want no parts of that because he didn't ask me for help before. I call on God, baby. Now even with that, God still had me feeling obligated to help that boy out, and I mean that man, that male, whatever. But I hope no more. I really do feel like I hope no more, and I'm sorry, Lord, if I'm saying the wrong thing. Help me to correct my tongue, but that's just that's definitely how I feel. That's really how I feel like I want it to be. But God is in control. God is on the throne. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, let me get off here for this thing cut off.